Before you spend or buy a 1995 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. This coin is common in ordinary circulated condition, but certain high-grade examples can be much more interesting to collectors. So should you buy one, and what is a 1995 nickel actually worth today? The 1995 Jefferson nickel was part of the long-running Jefferson nickel series designed by Felix Schlag. The coin features Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the back. By 1995, the Jefferson nickel had already been in production for more than 5 decades, making this coin part of an important chapter in modern American coinage. The standard 1995 Jefferson nickel weighs 5 grams and measures 21.2 millimeters across. Its composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a plain edge. These specifications are important because they help identify an authentic example and distinguish it from coins that may have been damaged, altered, or incorrectly identified. The 1995 Philadelphia nickel had a mintage of 774,156,000 coins. That is a very large production number, so the normal circulated 1995 Philadelphia nickel is not considered a scarce coin. The Denver issue was also produced in a large quantity, which means that simply finding the date 1995 does not automatically make a nickel valuable. The mint mark is one of the first things you should check. A P indicates Philadelphia, while a D indicates Denver. Proof nickels from San Francisco can also carry an S mint mark. The mint mark matters because collectors value different dates and mint issues according to their availability, condition, and demand. Now look at the front of the coin. Thomas Jefferson faces left, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" surrounding his portrait, along with the 1995 date. Beneath Jefferson's portrait you may also notice the letters FS. These letters are often misunderstood. On Jefferson nickels, FS refers to Felix Schlag, the designer of the coin, and it is not the same thing as the full steps designation used by grading services. On the back you will see Monticello in the center, surrounded by United States of America, E pluribus unum, 5 cents, and Monticello. For collectors, the steps beneath Monticello can be especially important. A sharply struck coin with clearly defined full steps can be considerably more desirable than an ordinary example. Grading services recognize full steps designations because strong strike quality can make these coins more collectible. So what is the market value of a 1995 Jefferson nickel? For an ordinary circulated example, the answer is usually very modest. This is not a coin you should buy simply because someone claims that every 1995 nickel is rare. The real collector interest begins when condition becomes exceptional, particularly when the coin is certified in a high mint state grade and has full steps. Current PCGS price guide information shows how dramatically condition can change the market. For the 1995 Philadelphia nickel, regular mint state examples are listed at modest levels in lower grades, while the full steps designation can bring substantially higher values in top grades. PCGS currently lists the 1995 P full steps issue at hundreds of dollars in the highest listed grades, with a much higher figure at the very top of its guide. There is also real auction evidence showing that exceptional examples can sell for meaningful premiums. A PCGS graded 1995 P full steps nickel graded MS67 sold for about $100 at auction, while PCGS currently reports a price guide value of $475 for that grade and designation. These numbers show why condition and certification matter so much. Auction results and price guides are not guarantees of what every coin will sell for. The Denver version can also become interesting in high-grade full steps condition. PCGS currently lists significantly higher guide levels for certain top-grade 1995 D full steps examples than for ordinary examples. That does not mean your circulated Denver nickel is worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. It means that exceptional preservation and strike quality can create a completely different collector market. So should you buy a 1995 Jefferson nickel? My advice is simple. If you are being asked a premium price for an ordinary circulated coin, I would pass. There are too many examples available, and the large mintage means there is no reason to overpay for a normal specimen. But if you find a 1995 nickel that looks almost untouched, has strong original surfaces, sharp lettering, minimal marks, and especially clear uninterrupted steps beneath Monticello, then stop and examine it carefully. That is the type of coin that deserves a closer look. Condition is extremely important. Look for original surfaces rather than a bright appearance created by cleaning or polishing. Avoid coins with scratches, heavy contact marks, discoloration, corrosion, or obvious signs of cleaning. A coin can look shiny and still be worth less than a naturally preserved example with better surfaces. Full steps are another major factor. The steps beneath Monticello should be examined closely under good lighting and magnification. Weak strikes, contact marks, or wear can interrupt the steps. A strong strike with clearly defined steps can make a high-grade example much more desirable to Jefferson Nickel collectors. NGC specifically separates 5 full steps and 6 full steps designations because strike quality can have a meaningful effect on collector interest. You should also remember that population reports are not the same as total surviving population. Professional grading reports only count coins that have been submitted and graded. PCGS currently reports hundreds of certified 1995 P&D full steps examples across different grades, which helps demonstrate that certified high-grade examples exist, but it does not mean every raw coin you find will qualify. If you are buying one, never rely only on a seller's claim that a coin is rare or valuable. Check the date, mint mark, surfaces, strike, and Monticello steps yourself. For an expensive example, professional certification can provide additional confidence. And remember, a strange mark on the coin does not automatically mean you have a mint error. Scratches, dents, corrosion, machine damage, and other post-mint problems are common. A genuine mint-made error needs to be supported by the characteristics of the minting process and reliable numismatic evidence. The 1995 Jefferson Nickel is therefore a perfect example of why collectors need to look beyond the date. Millions were produced, so the ordinary coin is common, but a beautifully preserved example with exceptional strike quality and full steps can enter a very different collector market. So before you spend money on a 1995 nickel, know what you are actually buying. Do not pay a rare coin price for an ordinary coin. But if you discover a nearly flawless example with sharp details and fully defined Monticello steps, it may be worth having examined by a qualified coin professional. The next time a 1995 Jefferson Nickel crosses your path, do not judge it by the date alone. Turn it over, study the surfaces, check the mint mark, and look closely at those Monticello steps. That careful examination is where the real collecting story begins.